We thought she escaped unharmed. We thought she was untouchable. But behind the scenes, young Miami may have been living a nightmare, one even darker than we imagined. And now, shocking claims from her ex have flipped the entire story on its head. Okay, so it turns out we were wrong. Dead wrong. For months, the rumor mill painted young Miami as Diddy's ride or die, untouchable, maybe even complicit in the chaos. But now, the story's unraveling fast. And according to bombshell allegations from someone who claims to be her ex, Miami wasn't just involved, she was hurt. Badly. Now, sure, she's known for talking tough, but when you're dealing with someone like Diddy, a man accused of blowing up cars and threatening lives, no one is really safe. And the details that are surfacing? They're disturbing. Allegedly, Miami's silence since Cassie's lawsuit wasn't about loyalty, it was survival. Her ex is now breaking that silence, and the receipts he's pulling up? They're lighting the internet on fire. Let's break it down. At first, it was easy to assume she was in on it. Miami had that top girl energy. Bold, fearless, maybe even controlling. Take her feud with Gina Huyn, one of Diddy's longtime flings. Gina was around long before Miami, but that didn't stop Miami from going nuclear. She fired off a tweet that sounded more like a threat than shade. "If I wanted you to eat my bleep, Diddy would have had you on your knees." She mocked Gina for struggling to have a baby, accused her of being used and discarded, and even threw in a nickname, Poor Sushi. It was messy, ugly, and honestly, hard to watch. But it gets darker. One of Diddy's alleged victims actually named young Miami in a lawsuit. She claimed Miami harassed her so brutally after getting pregnant with Diddy's baby that she miscarried. According to court docs, in July 2022, the victim was allegedly drugged inside Diddy's LA home. She blacked out, woke up with bruises, and had no memory of what happened. The trauma didn't stop there. She said she later found out she was pregnant. And when she told Diddy, it triggered a wave of harassment from his inner circle, including Miami. The woman claims Miami pressured her to terminate the pregnancy, calling her repeatedly until she eventually lost the baby. It was hard to see Miami as a victim after that. But here's the thing about abuse. Sometimes two truths can exist at once. Yes, Miami may have hurt others, but that doesn't mean she wasn't being hurt too. And now, that's exactly what her alleged ex is claiming. Remember that moment during one of Diddy's lawsuits when Lil Rod said Miami helped him move illegal substances across state lines? According to court filings, she allegedly flew on a private jet just to deliver him nose candy. At the time, it sounded like she was down for the cause, but her ex says otherwise. He claims Miami didn't have a choice, that when Diddy gave an order, it wasn't a request, it was a threat. And according to multiple testimonies, everyone around Diddy was scared. They say if you disobeyed him, he got violent, fast. Even the wild, now infamous confession from Miami, the one about her liking golden showers, might not have been what it seemed. Take a shot if you like golden showers. I do. The internet lost it. She laughed it off. But behind that laugh, her ex claims she was just coping, that she didn't want that, she just didn't get a say.
You got to.
It say take a shot if you like golden showers. I do.
Golden showers, meaning when the guy pees on you, pee on you everywhere, you like it?
I just like it.
You do? Sweet.
After Diddy's arrest, Miami tried to backtrack. "I never said he was the one I did that with." But by then, the damage was done. And it echoed everything Cassie revealed under oath. She said Diddy forced her into unspeakable acts, that he made her perform during her period, that she was urinated on against her will. Her exact words? "It was disgusting. No one could think I wanted it." But then, just when the case seemed clear, a male escort testified and flipped the narrative. He claimed Cassie was the one who asked to be urinated on. He said she even gave instructions on how to do it. Sounds confusing, right? That's how Diddy operated. He blurred the lines so much that no one could tell what was real anymore. And now it looks like young Miami might have been caught in the same trap. She wasn't the queen pin. She was the puppet. And maybe, just maybe, she didn't walk away unscathed. There's a photo circulating, a close-up of Miami with visible bruises. She tried to laugh it off as a household accident, but when you zoom out and see the full picture, it's hard not to wonder, was she hiding something darker? From the outside looking in, young Miami seemed to have it all. She wasn't just Diddy's girl, she was the main girl. The one calling shots, clapping back on social media, flexing the lifestyle millions of fans envied. The yachts, the jets, the city girl attitude that made her look untouchable. But now, that whole image, it's starting to crack. Behind the bold tweets and flashy appearances, there might have been something much darker happening, because when you listen closely to what her ex is saying and match that with what other victims have testified, a pattern starts to emerge, and it's chilling. According to him, Miami didn't have control. She was never in control. She didn't choose to fly across states with illegal substances. She was told to. She didn't want to be involved in those humiliating acts. She was coerced into it. She didn't just look the other way. She may have been trapped like everyone else. And suddenly, all those moments that once looked like power plays start to look more like survival tactics. Even her public persona, the unapologetic oversharing, the shocking confessions, might have just been ways to reclaim a tiny bit of control over a situation she couldn't actually escape. Because when someone like Diddy pulls the strings, even the loudest voice can be silenced. And if she did try to leave, if she did push back, well, look at the bruises. Look at the silence. Look at the fear that no one noticed until now. And maybe that's why she stayed quiet all this time. Because what happens when your abuser is also your provider, your protector, your power source? For someone like young Miami, speaking out may have meant losing everything. Her safety, her reputation, her career. So she stayed silent, played her role, smiled for the cameras, until now. Because with each new lawsuit, each new victim stepping forward, that silence is starting to collapse. The carefully crafted image of the powerful, carefree city girl is falling apart. And what's underneath might just be a woman who was surviving, not thriving. But this isn't just about Miami. This is about the pattern. Cassie, Gina, Jane Doe. One by one, the women in Diddy's circle are revealing the same story, just with different names. Different scars, forced intimacy, substance control, isolation, shame. Over and over again, we're hearing that Diddy didn't just hurt women, he broke them, piece by piece. And if Miami was caught in that same machine, it wouldn't be surprising. It would be expected. And still, that doesn't erase the harm she may have caused. Let's be clear. If she played a part in harassing another woman, that's not just a rumor. That's pain she helped cause. But the truth is messy. Victims can be flawed. Abusers can hide behind love. And sometimes, the line between accomplice and captive is thinner than we want to admit. Because when someone controls your money, your body, your story, they control your reality. Think about it. What if the public image, the drama, the chaos, the clapping back, was just a smokescreen? What if Miami's entire persona was a shield? Because if people saw her as the aggressor, no one would ever suspect she was actually the one being controlled. And if she looked like the queen of the castle, maybe nobody would realize she was living in a prison. That's the twisted genius of manipulation. It flips everything, turns strength into silence, turns victims into villains, and leaves everyone, even the audience, confused about who's really in control. So now, as the walls close in on Diddy and the voices get louder, we have to ask, who else has been holding their breath? Who else was trapped in his world, pretending they were free? At the end of the day, this story isn't just about young Miami. It's about the way power hides behind fame. It's about how easy it is to judge someone from the outside when you don't know what they were surviving behind closed doors. It's easy to point fingers when someone seems messy or cruel or complicit. But in a world built on fear, money, and control, even the loudest voices can be screaming for help in silence. And that's the trap. Diddy created a world where everyone had a role to play, the fun girl, the enforcer, the loyal one. But when the cameras stopped rolling and the lights went out, who was really pulling the strings? Because now, it's looking like everyone who stood beside him was just trying to stay alive in a system built to break them. And maybe young Miami wasn't the queen of the castle. Maybe she was another prisoner behind gold-plated bars. So here's the real question. How many more stories like this are still hidden? How many women are out there, still too scared to speak, still carrying secrets that don't fit the public narrative? And are we, the public, ready to listen, even when the truth is uncomfortable? Because if the people we thought were powerful were really powerless all along, then everything we believed about this world needs to change. Sound off in the comments. Is this the truth finally coming to light? Or just another Hollywood cleanup job? And if you thought this was disturbing, the next story will blow your mind. Tap here to find out who's speaking out next. And why Diddy might not be done yet.